I'm late, as it is.
You can't possibly drive, after all you drank last night. I'll call a taxi. It'll be here in 15 minutes. She disappeared into the kitchen. He scanned his surroundings, and it took him a few moments to figure out where he was. The room was stylish, with wooden floors and a fawn leather suite. Through the tall Georgian windows, looking out over Edinburgh's new town, sharp winter sunshine sliced through the gap in the delicately embroidered curtains and stung in his eyes. Last time he was here, just after Amy had moved in, the room had been full of removal boxes and black bin bags, and he had held Amy in his arms. Or, rather, she had held him in hers, while he had stood there like a dressmaker's dummy. Since that day, he had often wondered if he should have made a move then, but had always rejected such notions, persuading himself the embrace had just been a gesture of gratitude on her part. And last night? Ah, yes. He had been out drinking with Amy and his DC, Duncan Calderwood, and was probably left with permanent brain damage. It was all Amy's fault. She had been aghast at his admission that he had never had a cocktail in his life, and did not even know what a Manhattan was. In order to fill this shocking gap in his education, she and Calderwood had dragged him into a bar and, during a long night full of banter, ordered the entire cocktail menu. McCord had been slightly disturbed at the effect on him. Had that really been him giggling? But he was forced to admit that it was the most fun he'd had for years. He remembered his cheeks burning when Amy handed him a sex on the beach. After that, everything was a little hazy. He tried to get up, but found he could not move his legs. Looking down, he realized he was tightly entangled in a bedsheet. Fighting a wave of nausea, he pulled the sheet away. To his relief, he found that he was wearing boxer shorts, and concluded from the available evidence in the form of a pillow and duvet that he had slept alone on the sofa. Still, this would make the situation he was in only marginally less embarrassing. "Breakfast is served." Amy came through with a tray laden with a cafetiere, buttered toast and jam. Seeing him trying to cover himself up with the sheet, she laughed. "Don't you think you should get dressed before going to the station? Otherwise, questions will be asked." "People don't ask anymore," McCord said, hastily putting on his trousers and buttoning up his shirt. "They all assume they know the answer. Somebody we know will have seen us in that bar last night. I do worry about your good reputation." Especially as he was wearing the same shirt as the day before, something he had never done in his entire life. Amy shrugged. She poured coffee into 2 mugs and handed him one. "I think that particular horse bolted long ago." A quarter of an hour later, McCord was very slowly and carefully descending the stairs from Amy's flat. Not only did each step cause a small earthquake under his skull, but on the ground floor he would have to pass the side door of the fashion boutique that was run by Amy's mother. McCord had no desire to be seen leaving her daughter's flat at 10:30 in the morning. He hesitated on the last step, telling himself that he was not a teenager, but a grown man who had been, if anything, too good, or rather too drunk, to be naughty. And, with a bit of luck, Valerie would be busy in the shop and not notice him anyway. The impatient honk of a horn outside jolted him into action. He made a dash for it and, without looking back, climbed into the back seat.